Welcome to a quick introduction to economics. Economics is the study of how to allocate your scarce resources among competing ends. Now, the scarce resources part is the supply, and the competing ends is, of course, the demand. Now, the reason why it's considered scarce is because it's relevant to the demand. With the advent of globalization, knowledge about each part of the world is being spread to the whole world. For example, let's say Greenland has this delicious type of fish around its area that can't be found anywhere else. This is Greenland, right? Yeah, it's these master looking fishies. And they're really delicious and they can't be found anywhere else. Right? And they got this like glow to them. That's what makes them so unique and delicious. Okay. Now people in Greenland, they know about this, right? So then they spread it out to the whole world. Now the whole world learns about these master fish, and stores all over the world now want these master fish. So then everyone goes for the fish, right? Everyone wants the fish. And now the price of the fish, which may have been maybe $2 a pound, is now become $7 a pound. It's just become that popular, right? So now all the fishermen on the island right here, they're fishing up all the fish around the areas. So the fish goes in, and now there's not many master fish around. And now the supply of master fish around the Greenland that was once plentiful enough for the natives is now not enough for the whole world. It's just the context that it's being seen in. Of course, it's considered scarce now. One area's supply can't fulfill the whole world's demands. With that being said, let's discuss how the supply can get to the demand. There's 5 resources you put in: inputs or factors of production that get your supply into what the demand wants. These 5 terms are labor, human capital, entrepreneurship, natural resources, and capital. Now, labor is the physical and mental effort of people. Human capital is the skills and knowledge gained from training and experience. Now, entrepreneurship is the ability to identify opportunities and organize production, and the willingness to accept risk in pursuit of rewards. Natural resources are just the things in nature that can be used to make a profit. And lastly, capital. Capital are the manufactured goods that can be used in the production process. Let's have a quick example so these definitions won't go in one ear and out the other. Let's say there's a demand for bread. There's a demand for bread. Now, to get bread, you'll need wheat, right? So you'll need wheat. And to grow wheat, you'll need land. You'll need land to grow the wheat. Now, to grow wheat, you set up irrigation systems, farming equipment, seeds, pesticides, and probably more. The person who wanted to grow wheat probably also needed to hire workers. All right, now eventually, once the wheat is taken care of by the workers, we'll call that maintenance. Once it's been maintained by the workers and grown, they're eventually harvested, which is still here, harvested and transported to the factory, where it's processed into dough, presumably, and then finally sent to stores, and later baked into bread, into whatever the store is selling, right? Now here's an activity. Pause the video real quick, and using the 5 terms above, label which parts of this bread making process go with which of the terms. Okay, let's figure it out. Let's start with the land. Let's start with the land and this. Okay, someone had the idea to buy the land, and someone had the idea to grow wheat, so he bought the land, the irrigation systems, equipment, and all the seeds. And that was entrepreneurship, right? He was willing to take the risk for losses and set up a business. He organized production to gain profit. Okay. Now the work needed to maintain the fields is the labor, which is already written here. This is a giveaway. This labor, right? The physical and mental effort of people. Someone had to weed the plants, spray chemicals, and all that stuff. So here, I also said there were tractors, right? Someone had to know how to operate the tractors to harvest the wheat, right? To send to the factory. For you to operate the tractors and process the wheat into the dough, you needed to have skills and knowledge, right? That was the human capital. Now let's go back a bit. The land and the seeds, right here, are from the land, right? From nature, right? They're called the natural resources, which is a given, right? This is pretty much given. And lastly, the things that are actually they're operating. The tractors, the tractor itself, the processors, the irrigation machine, the systems, the machinery. Those are the capital. All right, so they'd be like the tractors. We'll just like draw them here. We'll just circle them. Now the tractors, the processors. Maybe the other irrigation systems. So those are all the capital. There's a lot. Just to look at that. There's a lot of things that go into making your daily breakfast. Whew. That's an end to a quick introduction to economics. Hope you guys enjoyed.